I've reviewed a lot of front dash screens for the Tesla over the last few years. I mean, a lot of them. And they've ranged from being meh to actually ones that I thought were pretty good. And in fact, I thought that this level right here was as good as any dash could get and be a third-party dash and not be something from Tesla. Well, it has been a long time since I have been this excited about a product. And this dash right here from Enhance, you know, the sexy button guys, this is the Sexy Dash, and it raises the bar from here all the way up to here on what you should expect from a dash. It completely blew my mind. I want to show it to you. Let's get into it. So now let's take a deeper dive into what exactly this thing can do, because there's a lot of layers to it. And I'm going to frame this discussion here that we're having around all of the limitations every previous screen had. And I believe that this guy here from Enhance solves just about all of them. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about placement. When you get any dash, they are going to pick where it goes on your dash, and most of them go right here in front of the steering wheel. And you do have that option because they send this particular bracket in order to hold it. And what makes this really cool is that it's basically a MagSafe connection. It will hold it, and it is adjustable on the angle. More on that in a second. And because of the MagSafe connection, makes it really easy to mount. So the question is, how do you power the thing? Well, they provide this little cable. We'll get into the installation here in a second. It's just a USB-C cable. You plug it in, and the guy will power up. Just like that. That is also very different than just about every dash. So how does it get the data on the screen? Well, this is plugged in to the same ecosystem that the knob and sexy buttons all use, and there is a commander that needs to be mounted in your car. Now, if you already have a commander, they're going to offer this dash here without a commander at a substantially reduced cost. But if you need to install the commander, I'm telling you that it is less than a 5 to 10 minute job to do. Very easy to do. I'll leave a link right here to where I talk about the sexy buttons and sexy knob, and I get into the installation of that commander. Easy peasy. But once the commander is installed, you basically open up the app, and it can see the dash, and it connects, and all of the data that is available to you in the dash just magically lights up. And that's why I can kind of hold it here and have it not be connected to anything except the USB-C cable. Now, because of that, this bracket gives you some flexibility, and they recommend two different locations. One would be the traditional mount right here, where I could take the screen and I use this 3M tape and I mount it right here in front of the dash, just like that. And that's a perfectly good place to do it. It will require a little bit more routing of this cable. It might require you to pop off your upper dash section and come back down and around, but it's doable. If you want to make it even easier, another thing that they really allowed you to do, and I like the idea, is that you can take this dash and you can orient it in more of a vertical position here, and there is an adjustment knob. You can lock this down, and it allows you to mount the dash all the way up by the windshield. And it almost turns it into a heads-up display right there by the glass. That's a really interesting placement. So I have a decision to make. Where do I want to put this dash? Do I want to put it right here behind the wheel? Well, if I put it there, I have to, like all other dashes, look through my steering wheel. They also, for people that complain about the air being blocked, it will be blocked slightly, but there is a gap and the air will go underneath the screen. Or you could put it out here by the windshield and have it be more of a heads-up display. And I'm actually kind of digging that, and that's probably the route I'm going to go. Now, the second problem that virtually all dashes have is installation. Installation can be a bear, and in the Juniper, it is particularly bad because they all are designed to mount something right here, which means you got to get into the dash by popping the dash off, fishing wires through it, which I can tell you if you watched a previous video of mine, it's not that particularly easy to do. But it's something that you had to do before. But with this dash, you don't have to do it. All they provide you is this thin USB-C cable. And what you do is when it's mounted up by the windshield, all you have to do is tuck this cable up with a pry tool amongst the LEDs, come down the side, and there's enough cable here to route it all the way to the back USB, which is where it is plugged in right now. Now, if you mount it up here on the front, it takes a little bit more surgery, but not. You just need to find an open USB port. And I'm going to make things a little bit easier for you on top of that, because if you don't want to take this all the way to the back, all you got to do is get to a USB power source. And on the Highland and on the Juniper, there's actually an OBD port right in the footwell of the car. And I have a USB hub that plugs right into there. I'll leave a link in the description below. So you can just basically take this cable, route it down to that hub right by your feet, and you're good to go. The thing's powered up, the thing's talking. So installation on this one couldn't be any easier. Now, one of the things that bugs me the most about all third-party screens that this one solves, and that is flexibility of the data that you see on the screen. Legacy screens, as I'm going to call them from now on, basically fix you to what they want you to see. You might get 2 or 3 different layouts, you might get CarPlay, but what you can actually see at any one given moment in time and how it's laid out is entirely up to the manufacturer to decide, and you don't get to choose. And I thought that was just how they worked and how they needed to be until I saw this thing. This thing is the exact opposite. This is maximum configuration. This is anything you want, however you want, in what form you want it, all wrapped up in one device, and it's just easier to show you how this all works. Okay, so what you're looking at is a 9.6-inch display, and it's got a glossy screen on there. The back, I'll just give you a kind of tour, is this hard kind of black plastic. That is there to minimize glare on the windshield. You've got your MagSafe connector here, you've got your USB, and there's also some speakers if you want to use those for navigation. But on the front, this is where the magic happens, and you'll see there's a lot on the screen here, and that's pretty cool. There's actually also multiple screens that you can mess with. And you'll see we even support CarPlay and Android Auto, and it's on a screen-by-screen basis. And here's where the magic happens. Let's go ahead and hold our finger on one of these guys, and you can see an edit screen pull up. I can go ahead, right now this is range, it says 77 miles, my battery obviously needs to be charged. I can come up here with a menu where I can pick what do I want this to be. It could be drive information, battery information, power information, about everything, temperatures, and the cool thing is I can change these to actions. I can actually control things like glove box. Let's go ahead and switch this over to glove box. And we're going to go, okay, we got glove box. We're going to say done. And when I hit this action button, my glove box opens, just like a sexy button or a sexy knob. Now let's just go ahead and clear out a bigger space. Let's do a 4x4 space. And you have options, because you're going to notice that some of these things, if I pick, let's say, stats, we can pick range, and I want it to be either a 1x1, a 1x2, a 2x1, or a 1x1. Let's put this as a 1x2, where we get the range here and a nice graph or a nice bar chart there. I hit OK, and there it is. It pops in there. I can say done. Let's go ahead and edit this again. Let's just say we want to add, we'll clear that out. Let's just say we want to add CarPlay in that little section. You can do that under Special, Android Auto, and CarPlay. We can have the option of 2x2, 3x2, 4x2, 5x2, or a whole screen. And you notice it says that it cannot fit. That is okay. We're going to go down to the 2.2, which is what we had selected, hit OK. And guess what? We have here in a second, I say done, we have a little CarPlay screen here. And what would you use a small one for? Well, if you want Waze running and you just want alerts, there you go. But what if you want a bigger CarPlay? Well, that's where multiple pages comes in, and we can actually scroll up here and pick a larger page. I'm going to go ahead and edit this page. Go ahead and clear out these just to show you. I can come in here and I can pick Special, CarPlay, and let's go full screen. Okay, done. And there we go. We have full screen CarPlay, and we can swipe back and forth on the screen to go from page to page to page. And that is super cool. Don't like this dash? Let's go ahead and change this dash. We'll go ahead and edit it. We have the option between a couple of different dashes. Let's pick this one. We want it to be battery or regen or pedal position or range. So you can see all the information changing. I actually kind of like the idea of having range there. Let's say OK. We'll say done. And there you go. We now show range, and we're in sport. And when we're driving, this will actually animate and show what you need to do. Super, super cool. You're also going to notice on the sides, we have 77 miles and 45 miles an hour. You can configure those, and if you hold down on the side here, and I can go over here to page edit, I can go ahead and say I want the left stat to be, let's say, battery, the right stat to be nothing or clock. Let's make it a clock. And we'll go and say done, and say done. And there we have a clock, and we have a battery percentage. You can also see I've got alerts over here on the left for my headlights. You can see that my doors are open, because as I'm filming this, my door is open. This thing is massively massively configurable. And it doesn't stop there. The last thing I want to show you about this is when you get to the page setup, there is a tab up here called Automations. What are automations? Well, you can actually have a particular screen automatically pop up when you do certain things. Like if I'm in park, I can have a screen of what I want to show like when it's park. That would be screen 3 that's selected. If I want this to be on when it's drive, I can have a drive screen. I can have a charging screen where all I show is just my charging information. I can have another screen when autopilot is engaged. You can have as many screens as you want, I believe, at least 8. I think they're working on more. And there you go. And while we're here, let's go ahead and look at the settings for the overall, where we can actually see we have brightness. There's an auto. The auto will allow you to sync to your display on the car. And you can select between kilometers and miles per hour, degrees C, Fahrenheit, horsepower, kilowatts. You can say whether your steering's on the left or right. And this one here is the one that bugs the crap out of me on other legacy screens, and that is audio output, car or display. When CarPlay takes over on all third-party screens, except for this one, it will take over the audio and shove it out the little dinky speakers. And you can do that by selecting display. If you select car, then all of your audio is going to still come out the car. You have your Bluetooth setup, you have your system on information. We'll get to that in a second when we talk about updates. But there you go. This is the overall layout of the dash. And if there is a configuration you want, these guys will listen and they're going to do it for you. One of the things you might be asking is, Jim, if I mount this dash all the way up by the windshield, how do I reach it when I'm driving because it's a touchscreen? Well, they've actually kind of figured that out for you because it has to do with the scroll wheel, the right scroll wheel on your steering wheel. Let me show you. For now, I have the screen positioned up here on my dash, and if I use the right scroll wheel and I flick it fast, it actually goes between screens, which is great. But what about if you want to get to a screen where you have the glove box? You want to open the glove box. Well, no big deal. Move slowly, and you can see that the glove box highlights. Move your finger to the right, it activates, and the glove box opens. How cool is that? Another major limitation of all legacy screens is the software, and it doesn't update. And it may work when you get it out of the box, and things work well, but I can tell you I've lived with some of these screens for a long time. As Tesla pushes updates, these screens tend to break, and they tend to break by showing wrong information because Tesla does something to the software, and now the data on the screen is wrong, like your battery percentage or your range. That's usually the first to go. And that is a major limitation. They all claim that they have software updates, but my experience is that they very rarely, if it ever, update this. And these guys are going to keep pushing this and keep pushing out updates, and it all happens wirelessly through your phone that talks to the commander, it talks to the dash, it talks to the knob, it talks to the buttons, and you can just know that these updates are going to keep on coming, so when you buy this dash, it's going to be good for the long haul. Now, the last limitation I want to talk about was something that would also kind of bug me, and virtually all of the dashes that you buy third party are made in China, and there's really, nothing wrong with that. They can make some good stuff. But it's my impression, my opinion, that a lot of those people developing the software, their English isn't that great. And I understand that's fine. My Mandarin is terrible. But when I'm buying a product for an American machine in America, I kind of want it to be in English. And sometimes those third-party screens struggle a little bit. And it's a bit of an annoyance, but you kind of look past it. Well, this screen from Enhance, these guys, even though they're European, these guys have got it down. So if you're looking to use this in English, it's got to be right in English. And if you find something that's a little off, and I can tell you, I found nothing on this thing that is a little bit off when it comes to that, you can know that this is going to be correct, and it's not going to be that annoyance that you got to look at every single time. All right, there you have it. This is the sexy dash from my friends at Enhance. Is it right for you? Well, you need to make that choice. But I can tell you this, if you are the type of person that wants to have a dash inside your Tesla, and I can tell you I've reviewed most all of them, this one is above all of them. This thing is super cool. So shoot over to their website. They are taking pre-orders now. They are going to ship in February. And if you place your order before December 1st, you're going to get 20% off that order. And I got one better for you. If you use the checkout code IowaTeslaGuy, we're going to give you 10% more off that order for a total of 30% off. That's a pretty good deal. Please do me a favor, go down there, tap that like button, and if you're new to the channel, subscriptions are always welcome. And if you're looking to pick up a Tesla of your own to put a dash in it like this, I would highly recommend it. Make sure you maximize your savings by using a referral link, and if you want to start that process at iowateslaguy.com, that would be great. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you on the next one.